Welcome to the Awaken on Purpose podcast, where each week I share insight, inspiration, and advice for quantum leaping into new levels of expansion in your purpose and mission as a visionary leader and way shower. You'll also hear from other new paradigm leaders who share their inspirational stories and wisdom. If you're passionate about embodying your highest destiny and leading others through this great awakening into the next golden age, this show is for you. Hey everybody, I am absolutely thrilled to welcome as a guest to the show today, Renee Marcou. She is a dear friend and an amazing colleague, and I can't wait to just showcase all of her delicious energy with you guys today. She is the founder of the iHeart Coaching Academy and leader of Girl Get Your Crown movement, has created a booming virtual coaching business around transforming the mind, body, and spirit. Her programs have reached thousands of entrepreneurs and leaders who are determined to live a successful life. I told myself before this I wasn't going to mess up, and then there I did. Anyways, she's reached thousands of entrepreneurs and leaders who are determined to live a successful life on their terms and become liberated in their career, relationships, and spirituality. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm super excited to have you and to have this conversation. So I'd love to just kick things off by, share with us, how did you get to where you are today? Because you have so many amazing talents, which I can't wait to hear about. So yeah, spill.
Thank you. Absolutely. Here we go. Well, how long do we have? Because that depends on what time of my life I can really start with.
Sure, wherever you're feeling guided.
Well, I started my career in the music industry. I'm actually a singer, songwriter, and recording artist since I was 15 years old. So that has been my passion. I knew as a little girl I was going to grow up and use my voice in a big way. For many, many years, I thought it was going to be through music and music only. And then I there were other ways I could do that. And becoming a coach at 21, I started my own practice, and I just was like, okay, boys, like here we are, we're going into a whole new dimension with, spirituality, mindset, abundance mindset, all of this cool stuff. And that's when I became a life coach. And from there, it has so that's 12 years ago, it's just literally unfolded. As time goes on, different seasons will call for different things and offers and all the things that I share. If you watch any, I call myself the manifesting queen, because I basically will help my clients manifest their heart's desires. And it's all areas of life. So I really got into that because there was a limit to what I could do in my music career as far as really making an impact on people's lives, unless I'm writing a song that they relate to and can heal with or something like that, right? But there was a missing piece there for me, because I was one of those people who learned the manifesting principles right when The Secret came out. I was 18 years old, and I was blown away by the fact that we had the ability to really dictate how our life was going to look and really get clear on what we actually wanted, which was from the heart, right? Or from our true desires and passions in life. And I was one of those kids growing up thinking, like, if I'm lucky one day, I'll get a record deal. Or if I'm lucky one day, I'll run into the right person in New York City. And, I just had this belief system of I wasn't empowered. I didn't have the ability to make things happen other than through hard work. And that was the mentality. And then when I learned through The Secret for me was a door opener. It swung that door right open. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the kind of power that I have within me. And then I was working on manifesting things left and right. And I was like, this is incredible. I need to be shouting from the rooftops to everybody that they have this power within them to do it. So that's really where my life coaching career stemmed from, because it was like, I just want to help more people live their dream life. And that's what I was doing. I was in love with my life, like so young and so just, I was like that, like the cheerleader who was just like telling everybody like what's like how you can manifest. And I
You
just
can create
loved it.
this, you can create that.
Literally, yes. And it's been such an amazing journey. And, there's for sure been people that has taken more energy and time to really help them implement the laws and stuff. But then once they see how real it is and how divinely connected they truly can be, it just, you just put the pedal to the metal at that point. So
It
it's
really
been,
does. Yeah, I love how you bring up also kind of some of the deeper work around that, because
yeah,
um the way that you described feeling about watching The Secret is exactly how I felt when I read Abraham Hicks' Ask and It Was Given. I
yeah,
still recommend that book to some
yeah,
of my clients today, because I literally view that as, I mean, one of the most comprehensive 101 guides type of
yes,
guide to
absolutely.
manifesting. The Secret is amazing also, but I feel like it just kind of scratches the surface, right? Like it's very exciting to
Yeah.
watch it and to have that realization that you're this powerful sovereign creator.
Yes.
What would you say about The Secret, like in terms of maybe like what's missing in terms of some of the common kind of things people can come across in manifesting on their path?
Yes, yes, that's a great question. The Secret, I will always give props to because that was that door opener for me. I will always be so gracious and grateful for the author, for the whole team involved, for all of the people who came on and spoke. I've even created relationships with them in my coaching career after years and years. And actually, just as a little side note, too, I wrote a song called The Secret. And I shared it with the author. Yes, that book inspired me to write a song called The Secret. And I shared it with the author, and she shared it with everybody who was in the book. So at some point in time, they've all heard my song. And for me, it was like, this is so magical and amazing. So it totally is one of those eye openers. It really helps people have that breakthrough. Like, we can't deny the fact that millions of people's lives were got excited and changed because of that book and movie. And like I said, that was a door opener for me. So then from there, I went to Abraham Hicks books, like you had mentioned. I went into more books from Bob Proctor and Think and Grow Rich and all of these other, Marcy Shimoff, all of these beautiful authors that really stood in their power and explained deeper what it was, what The Secret really was. So for sure, the missing pieces, I mean, I could really sit down and dissect them. But I think for what it was meant to do in our time, in this lifetime for people,
Yeah.
was to open eyes. And so that's for me, while I'll always give that book and movie props
Yeah.
forever. And then, but it's funny how you mentioned that, because when I teach manifesting, right? Because now it's a whole nother level. Like, that was door opener. Then it's like, okay,
Right.
cool. What's the blocks? What's this? Like, what's the energy transmission behind it? What else was kind of missing along it with it? Because there were times when I was using the manifesting principles, like ask, believe, receive, right? That was kind of the whole law of attraction. And then you realize there's more universal laws out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I title up as the manifesting principles, or the laws of manifesting. There's law of karma, law of polarity, law of duality, law of, allowing, law of deliberate creation. Like, it just keeps on going. So I think that was a really big one for the law of attraction, but missing some of the pieces of, like, okay, what if I am in my own way, though? Like, what if I want something, but then I'm stuck on that old story of, oh, well, that's only for rich people, for example. So that's where I feel like, at least what I've done and researched, and the other books that have been out there, and of course, using it in my own life,
Mhm.
where I really stemmed from in my journey, opening a business basically based around the law of attraction and the manifesting principles 3 years later.
So I could just go down such a deep rabbit hole on all of this.
Right?
Yeah, but two areas. I'd love to dive a little bit deeper into two areas because I know that they are probably some of the most common areas that people can run into speed bumps with, so to speak. So the first one is money. So when you start, exploring the realms of directing your own energies to manifest whatever it is that you desire, I know money is a big thing that comes up for people. So what are some of the challenges that you see commonly with clients there, and what would be like some actionable advice that people could take to make sure that they have a clear path to achieving the prosperity they desire?
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, what comes to the front of my mind is really building a positive relationship with money
Mm-hmm.
and really allowing yourself whatever story that has been placed upon you or society has made you believe, or your parents or caregivers have made you believe that maybe in the realm of scarcity or lack and limitation.
Mm-hmm.
Allow yourself to let that be your past, let that be part of your story, but really having a more friendly, loving, communicative conversation with money now. Of course, there's so many different things that can pop up with that too, right? We can get into, here's literally a process. Like if somebody wants to try doing this, writing down, if maybe you don't know where your money story is, but say if you're in the energy of lack because you know you want more of it, but you haven't been able to attract it, for example,
Mm-hmm.
get clear, write it down on paper. I'm a huge writer. I'm always behind writing. Write down, what are your mother's beliefs about money? What are your father's beliefs about money? And really see what you're kind of holding on to in that process. It should bring some light to where your mindset currently is. And then going that extra length, pretending that you're a child, or if you have a child in your life, what would your child say your beliefs are about money?
Mm-hmm.
And just letting that brainstorm just come right out. And then you can really measure, oh man, like
Yeah.
I'm pushing money away. Because if you think about it, right, if you don't have a positive relationship with money, you're pushing money away because you're saying, ultimately, I don't want you in my life. Why would we, as the creator beings that we are, have, say, yeah, I want money, but then have all of these reasons why we can't have them and think all of these negative things about money and what we would, say a rich person could be. And if we're leaning into all of those negative thoughts about it, we're really just not even freeing ourselves. We're holding on to what we actually don't want, which is lack of money.
I so love that you brought up the suggestion around, well, ask your kids how you view money, because children have no filter. They're just going to give you the,
Exactly.
truth. And it's very telling, right? Like sometimes we aren't hyper aware of how we're carrying ourselves or exactly everything that we're saying when we're around children. So I love that you bring that up. And I also love that you bring up the relationship to money, because that's really what all of our experiences are, is a relationship to something, and everything, including money, has its own consciousness. And we have, beyond just the consciousness of money, the dynamic of the consciousness of our relationship to
Yes.
that money.
Yes.
I love that so much. And so, speaking of relationships, that's the other piece that I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into, because that's also very common, right? It's like, well, how do I attract, my divine life partner? I like to refer to it as divine life partner, because we can say soulmate, but in actuality, we have a ton of soulmates, right?
Still,
It's
yes, it
not
do.
just like the one romantic partner. We have tons of people as soulmates. So in terms of divine life partner, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yes, absolutely. I actually just worked with my client on this in the last 3 weeks. She's had it in her vision for quite some time, but she wanted to work on some other things first. Literally, we did 3 sessions about it, and she's already met somebody. It's just magical, right? One thing for sure when it comes to manifesting your divine life partner is really knowing what you actually want from the relationship. Like, what is your heart really calling for?
Mhm.
And instead of really measuring what you feel as though you want or think you want based on what society says or based on what is your expectation from your family members around you, really getting clear on what matters to you, right? What experiences do you want to have? Why do you want a divine life partner in your life? And start to create the room in your life for them, opening up the void, right? The universe always fills a void. So, really creating space for that person to come in. Of course, knowing what type of qualities that are important to you, knowing how you want this person to view you, to treat you, to bring you through experiences in life, and just starting to envision what that looks like really playing out scenarios and stories that are positive that you do want to experience. And also, too, when you have people coming into your life, too, especially this happens time and time again, before I met my match, but I would bring in people who would illuminate something in me that would need some healing, right? So the relationship also oftentimes can be a mirror to what we want to look at and heal. So instead of, I come from a loud Italian family, by the way, I will say. So instead of like that loud screaming, yelling, and like fighting and closing the door and all this dramatic stuff, it's like, what really is that partner bringing to me that I want to illuminate and let go of or grow from? So that is something that I've learned in my journey of finding the divine life partner, but also it's all about communication. Once that person's in your life, knowing that you're their prize, knowing your value, and also allowing them to see the value in them that you see in them as well. Communication is like,
Oh, it is. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
What would you say, for someone to manifest with more ease and grace, what would you say is the number one pothole maybe for them to avoid falling into?
Self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's the
Love to hear
pothole.
more. Yeah.
Yes, I see that time and time again. I hear it in the language, and
Yes.
I'm aware of my words too. I've been
Mhm.
aware of my words and learning how actually powerful they are. But even being in this field for 12 years, I'm oftentimes recalibrating my words.
Mhm.
What are words that I leave out? I don't use the word should. If I do, I'm like, where did that just come from? Like I'm very aware of what type of words I'm speaking because it's just revealing to me what type of beliefs I have going on up here. And also, too, really, I see another pothole is people not knowing that they are the divine co-creator. So that there is the universe the universe is here wanting to help you create what you're asking for, wanting to help you create your heart's desires, right? Whatever you believe in, God, Goddess, the universe, Buddha, Jesus, the source, the
Yeah.
greater good, whatever it is, like that other being, that other part of you wants you to succeed. It would never be like, let me dangle this carrot,
Mhm.
right? Let me just kind of, dangle this carrot and you're just going to be chasing it. No, like the universe is on your side. The universe wants to help you realize your dreams. So I always say leaning into a more loving relationship with source, whatever your source is, and creating that bond and really allowing yourself time to nourish that bond as if it's a human, as if it's that person that you want to attract, as if it's the money that you want to attract, really having that loving relationship, knowing that the universe is always providing and responding to you.
Yeah, and part of that would be creating space regularly to be devoted to that, right? I feel
Yes.
like it's always worth mentioning because we just live in an age where it's like busy, busy, busy in traditional society, like in the Matrix teaches us that
Right.
we have to work hard to achieve more. And it's really the opposite. It's not about working hard, it's about energetic congruence.
Yes,
It's
yes,
the opposite of what we're
exactly.
taught. So
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
everybody, like just look at the opposite of what you're taught and
Yeah,
oh,
seriously. Yes, it's so true. Like that's why earlier I was saying like hard work in parentheses, because it's like it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to pull a boulder on your back throughout your entire life in order to realize your dreams. Like when we step into the divine flow, I often will say for the women in my programs, I also serve men as well, but specifically to the women, step into that divine feminine flow. Allow yourself to receive.
mhm.
When you open up the channel of receive, you get ideas, you get insights, you get action steps, you get inspired action, everything. You get a whole brainstorm. And then before you know it, you're planning your entire new business that you've always wanted to open, for
I'm
example.
glad you brought this up but men actually have a feminine energy too, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes, they do.
More about just achieving that balance.
Yes,
And we
yeah.
could have a whole episode on, the stereotypes around the masculine as well.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, absolutely. Before we hit record on our conversation today, we were having a little chat about being multi-passionate, how much I admire that quality in you, and that our purpose is more of a journey, not a specific destination. So with that being said, I'd love for you to share with us what has been the number one contributor to the success that you've achieved as you define success on your path.
For me, the contributor is my relationship to the universe. I am so trusting of the universe and all of the gifts that the universe has given me in this lifetime to bring forth
Mhm.
to whomever I'm meant to serve, to whatever person's listening to me or my music that I'll never know, right?
Yeah.
And just knowing that everything that I do is in service to the light. Everything that I do is in service to other people. I literally, ever since I was a little girl, knew that I was here to make an impact I say on the world at large, right? Because all of us make an impact on the world, whether we're aware of it or not.
Yes.
But that was part of my divine gift. Just the basic purpose is anything that I do, bringing more light to the planet, bringing more awareness to people. It's what has led me throughout the whole process. I've gone through losing friends to addiction. And in my healing process, I was inspired to start a nonprofit. That nonprofit put hundreds and hundreds of people into addiction treatment that would have not had the opportunity if they didn't have the money from the nonprofit. Like those are things that I follow. I'm so in trust with the universe. I'm in trust with the universe when it comes to money. One of our conversations from earlier in the session, in our podcast episode, like just knowing that I have that source and that I'm here, creating that for the greater good
Yeah.
gets me out of bed in the morning.
I love that so much. Love, love, love that.
Thank you.
Renee, in closing, what else are you feeling guided to bring forward? Anything and everything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like my favorite. So I do want to share a gift with everybody who's listening, and it's called my Divine Manifesting Kit. As I was saying before, I always go on my pages and I'm always sharing about manifesting because I'm just so passionate about bringing the awareness to people. Because if it wasn't for the book, like The Secret or the movie, right,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known these principles at the time that I did. And it wouldn't have made the impact on my life for me to be able to be so successful as I define it, right? My success doesn't lie in how much money is in the bank. It lies in how much of an impact I'm making, how much I'm in alignment with my truth. And all of the other things get to unfold, right? So I offer a divine manifesting kit. And is that okay to share the link right now?
Yeah, of course. And
Okay.
we'll also be sure to include the link in the show notes as well.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So the website is spirituallywealthy.life/kit, KIT. And it's the divine manifesting kit. There's a bunch of goodies in there. So I won't spoil the goodies, but you can check it out on the site. And if you feel that you're guided to leaning in, it's completely free as a gift from me, and it will end up in your inbox. So that I always love to share. And also a message I love sharing to everybody as well. When you are feeling, even though it might feel scary, it might feel, uh, like a big deal to step into, really follow your heart's calling. We're here. I truly believe we are all here with a divine purpose. We're here to, especially everybody who's watching here, because I know the type of people you attract into your business and to your podcast, Jennifer. So I'm speaking directly to all of you. If you have some calling on your heart, pursue it. Even if it feels super scary to lean in, or you just don't know what the full staircase looks like, just knowing the next step and knowing that you will be provided in your faith and trust with the universe, that the next step will be revealed to you, that person that's going to help you get there, or that mentor, or that program that you need to sign up for. Just lean in. And the more you do it, and the more you realize your purpose, the more you realize how much joy this brings you, and whatever it is that you're doing brings to others, that will be your big why. That will get you out of bed in the morning. So I'm a person, I say go all in, lean in, find who you need to work with to help you realize your dreams, and go for it. Because we're here for such a short amount of time. We deserve to live an amazing life as we define it.
It's so true. Time is not a renewable resource.
Right.
Money,
Yes.
things, jobs, businesses, all of that can be done again, can be done a different way. But every
Yeah.
day that goes by is a day that you don't get back.
Right. It's so true. It is so true.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Renee, I just adore you. And I'm
Mhm.
so grateful that you came on to the show today to share all of your light, because you really are a lighthouse.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. As are you. You inspire me. I love reading your posts, and I love what you do for the world. And I'm a huge cheerleader behind you in your corner.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're
Renee.
welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks for having me, Jennifer.
Thank you for listening to the Awaken on Purpose podcast. Please visit me and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or at awakenonpurpose.com so you never miss an episode. To learn more about how you can embody new levels of expansion in your purpose and mission as a visionary leader and way shower, visit me at jenniferspore.com.